'Cause we love our love in different sizes. I love her body, especially the lies. Time take its toll, but not on the eyes. Promise me this, take me tonight.
Hello and welcome to this week's Perfect 10 show, where we are joined by a very special guest. It's the best impressionist in the game, Darren Farley's here.
Thank you, lads, thank you.
And alongside him on the panel we've got Harris. Harris, I hear you went to Old Trafford.
Yes, I did. You sound surprised.
You've not been in about 6 years.
That is a lie. I'm not having that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was dire. Absolutely dire.
Do you know, it wasn't dire, it was great. I watched it. I mean, it gets better every week, to be honest with you.
Absolutely diabolical. Terrible.
We're also joined by Paul on the show. Paul, are you open to pick up a tip or two?
Bit of advice, yeah, won't go amiss, I think.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of your impressions later on, I'm sure. And Anton, I think you went to Ewood Park last weekend.
Yes, 2-2 draw with Nottingham Forest. Simon Bradley Dack, absolutely superb again. I tell you what, we're getting more than 20 million for him next summer.
Better than Pogba.
He probably is.
Bro, at the moment,
You've not been messaging him on Twitter again, have you?
no.
I thought
The
you were told
restraining
to
order's
stop
kicked in
that.
now. Back on. Yeah.
Because Darren is, of course, a big Liverpool fan, we are giving away this gorgeous Liverpool shirt this week. And to win this shirt, all you have to do is answer the question that we'll reveal the answer to at the end of the show, which is, what is Harry Redknapp's favourite meal at McDonald's? Is it A, the McChicken Cruncher, or B, the Strawberry Herman Haridason? Darren will reveal that at the end of the show.
Yeah,
I'm
no
sure.
worries, I could just do a chicken crunch.
Thinking about that
Really
is
good.
just getting me right. Darren, let's get to know you a bit better. First off, our icebreaker. We've already got you a drink, so you're going to have to share with us your best drunken story.
Right, drunken story. To be honest with you, I mean, drunken stories, I'd have to say the worst drunken story. How many do you want to hear from me?
Rattle through them. Let's
Rattle
see
through,
what
rattle through them. Probably the worst one that I've had was when I ended up going to town, having a few drinks or whatever. Obviously, because that's how I got drunk.
That's the usual way.
And then, for some reason, I remember getting in a cab. I was only young, about 18, but I couldn't even speak. I was trying to tell the taxi driver, you know, when you just go, taxi driver just couldn't understand. But he ended up taking me just to some, like, it was like an army barracks or something. So I remember just getting out, going, like, yeah, this is it, kind of thing, going, like, it was going through me. What? I was going, yeah, this is it. But I literally had my key, right, honest to God, and like on a fence at the army barracks, trying to open the door. I mean, I'm not, listen, you know what I mean, it was quite scary. I didn't get home for 4 days afterwards, but it was a bit, I'd probably go, that's probably my worst drunken story.
That's not great, is it? Army barracks, but yeah. Right, let's move on to the Wheel of Misfortune. We've got a load of categories on here for you, Darren. This very well put together Wheel of Misfortune.
We don't cut corners.
We don't spare any expense here. So if you could just give this wheel a spin and we'll answer a question for the category.
Look at that.
Advice. This is quite a good one now.
Right,
As an
okay.
impressionist.
Yeah.
It's a deep one, isn't it, Simon?
Yeah.
It's from the heart.
It really is.
To be fair, yeah, I mean, in terms of like impressionism, the way I see impressionism is like, it's not just a voice, okay? So for any budding impressionist who's watching the show, it's more about the character. It's more about like little subtleties in the character.
Yeah.
For instance, you know, if we were doing Harry Redknapp, it's little things. So it's not just like you can do a voice and go, well, you know, crash, you know, but it's almost a little subtlety. So the face is very important. So when you're doing an impression, if you can make people laugh without doing the voice, that's really important. So definitely you've got to get those little bits in the character, you know what I mean? It's not just a voice, the voice is important obviously, but it is also about, you know, the little ticks and like the little mannerisms, if you will, kind of thing. So,
What was the first impression you ever did and kind of how did you get where you are today?
so the first one I ever done was, I think it was Michael Owen, to be honest with you. I think it was Michael Owen, the first one. And you know, you'll speak to impressionists and everyone's got a different story of how they started doing impressions, but with me, it was like a natural curiosity. So you'd meet people, like I'd meet Anton or, you know, whatever, and we'd be chatting, and I'd be like, you know, studying him, and like the way he talks, things he does. And I couldn't understand why I was like that, but I had a natural, being a football fan, I was constantly watching football. So you're watching managers, you're watching players. It's all I've done 24/7 was watch football. And naturally in my head, because I always hear an impression in my head first, before you say it. Honestly, it's in there, you hear it, and then like, you know, you work on the little bits, but it's, yeah, I mean, it was a really strange thing to know. But I didn't really tell anyone about it. It was quite like, I kept it to myself. And then it was a friend of mine who well, I used to do the odd impression in school of like a teachers and like things like that. And he said to me, listen, you know, can I show me mates a few of your impressions, basically? And this was in a shop about like...
It's in the video.
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and he worked in his dad's shop. And it, basically I'd done like Michael Owen. I think I'd done Peter Crouch.
Yeah,
I think I've done him since, to be honest with you.
When was this, Darren?
About 10 years ago.
10 years?
10 years ago, yeah. And I went in the shop for some bread and some bacon. And I walked out and I was on YouTube like 5 days later, do you know what I mean? It's like, it was bizarre, but I didn't know too much about the internet then. YouTube was quite a new thing to me. And from that, you know, obviously he put it onto YouTube. I think it had 1 million hits in a couple of days or something, yeah. And oh, it's mad. At the time, I think 1 million hits was like, I think it's quite common to get 1 million hits now, you know what I mean?
Well, they give them out to any old Tom, Dick and Harry.
Yeah, they do, yeah. But it was crazy, yeah.
You mentioned before about the facial expressions being a key part in getting an impressionist nailed down, really. But is it just practice to be able to nail one down?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes, so there's certain characters you'll do who come very natural. And it comes from the fact that you're watching football all the time. I'm not one of them who stands in front of a mirror or, you know, who'll constantly watch something. And I think it's got to come from like inside. So you'll hear different impressionists who'll come out and say like, yeah, I'll study, I'll watch, whoever it's, Sean Dyche or whoever for an hour, 2 hours. It doesn't really work like that. Not for me. I've got like a different way, and that way is just like it's from inside, really. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you think you're quite a good judge of an impressionist now, then? Because we've got a certain someone here who wants to show you a little impression, haven't we?
Yeah, okay.
I have. Well, Darren, a few of my friends have been telling me that I remind them of the Wheelstorm Raider.
Purely looks-wise.
Oh, yeah.
If you want some, I'll give it you. You're playing shit and you've got no fans. And if you want some, I'll give it you. What do you reckon?
Are you the Wheelstone Raider?
I am the Wheelstone Raider.
Dear me. You've got the looks and everything.
So out of 10, what would you give that? I think that's pretty good.
I think that's brilliant. That's got to be a 10. Yeah. Listen,
Just a bit more pressure on me.
To be honest with you, now all you've got to do is you've got to get the look. You know what I mean? You're 90% there. Get your hair cut, go and smoke a few rollies, and you're flying.
So, Darren, what's the highlight of your career so far as an impressionist, do you think? And have you done any impressions to these famous people?
Yeah, I have, and to be honest, it's there's been so many, Being a massive football fan, one of the first gigs I had was the Liverpool players' Christmas party. So I think that when I walked in, it was basically me performing for Xabi Alonso, Steven Gerrard, Jamie Carragher. Hey, listen, Jay Spear.
All the legends.
He's a ledge, mate. A ledge.
Played for it Rovers, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, Jay Spear.
Florence and Pongo there, I believe he played for Rovers as well.
We're getting off track
here. Oh, listen, Biscan, a lot of them, but I mean, when you perform in front of it, you kind of get used to it, because a lot of gigs I get now, you've done stuff I've done the PFA Awards, I've done stuff for the Premier League. You get to work with these guys and you get to do stuff with them. So you kind of get used to it early on. Robbie Fowler was my hero as a kid growing up. And I went to Iceland with him to do a gig, and it's me and him talking. I had him on my shirt when I was 9, 10 years of age, and I couldn't really get into that. I was just like, all right, Robbie. And he must have noticed, but now it's all right, how are you? How's the kids? You all right? Yeah. What do you have for your breakfast?
What does Robbie Fowler have for his breakfast?
I think cocoa pops. Yeah. Chocolatey, you know, kind of thing.
Definitely different. Right, let's move on, Darren. We're going to put you on the spot and get to hear some of these impressions now. So this is kind of a bit of an improv quickfire round. I'm going to give you a sportsman and a scenario.
Okay.
And you can just talk about it for as long or as little as you like. So let's start with Wayne Rooney. On the topic that everyone's talking about at the moment is Jose Mourinho and the situation at Man United.
I think obviously it's not great. I think he's lost the dressing room. I lost the dressing room because you had to go down the corridor and past the toilets, and I always lost it. But I think he's lost the dressing room. Sorry, what we're talking about.
Very good. We've got Sean Dyche on Brexit.
Certainly Brexit for me, personally, the way we play. We're Burnley, we're all about Brexit. Listen, we're Burnley, we don't have money at Burnley. We don't have money at all. I'm on £5 an hour, mate, you know what I mean? I don't care about Brexit at all. I just love banging people out, mate, that's what I like doing. Listen, we eat nails, we eat wood, we eat metal, we're Burnley. I'm Dyche.
Oh my word.
Sounds like you need a cough drop.
Certainly do. Certainly do, pal, certainly do.
What about Harry Kane on the building of Spurs' new stadium?
Yeah, obviously.
He's playing tonight.
Yeah, obviously. Totally Zealand. We got the stadium with bricks and they get the cement, they put it in the middle and then boom and together. But yeah, obviously it's a great stadium. And I love playing for Spurs. Even though we're crap. Obviously. Right.
How did that man win a golden boot? How did that happen? Let's finish it off with Roy Hodgson and his thoughts on Harry the Hornet, the Watford mascot. The facial expressions are just spot on.
Well, of course, I wasn't very happy with Harry the Hornet. What's he doing? It's got nothing to do with him if he wants to. Sorry, a bit of spit there. If he wants to have he's the mascot. He's got nothing to do with what's going on the pitch. So I see him again, I'll get him in a headlock and I'll square his head because I wasn't very happy.
That is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Right, Paul, we're going to get to know your impressions a bit more now. No pressure at all. We're going to do a bit of an impression of, if you will. Paul's going to play Jamie Carragher. Darren, you're going to play Steven Gerrard. And we're just going to throw out another scenario. So we're going to start by talking about Steven Gerrard's famous slip. Paul, do you want to kick us off?
Do you know, Steve, since I've been working with Sky, I've had the Sky patch and I've had the chance to, look into the incident once again. I think you've done it on purpose, and you've broken a city of people. And at the time I wanted to distance myself from you, but now I genuinely don't want to see you ever again.
Yeah, of course. To be honest with you, Cara, I couldn't give a crap if I never seen you again, to be fair. But yeah, it was an accident. These things happen. Obviously, I'm down in Scotland now trying to stop Brendan Rodgers winning the league again. I've done it before, I'll do it again. But it's very exciting. We played together for a very long time, but I started to attack. You couldn't go past the halfway line. You were terrified, but yeah, of course.
I just think if I'd have been there on the day, I could have stopped what happens. In that deep role. In fact, I'm going to go now and probably never speak to you ever again. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. I don't really care. I'm very busy now in Scotland, playing in one of the biggest leagues in the world. Massive teams like St Mirren. You're sitting there with Gary Neville, dead in your comfy chair, giving everyone criticism. But yeah, of course.
Sounds like a creaky door.
There's a dolphin in it.
I think so, but yeah.
Right, let's throw it over to the next scenario. That wasn't bad, was it? I've always wanted to know what it's like to go on a night out with Gerrard and Carragher. So does Gerrard want to kick us off on this one?
Yeah, of course, that bird over there. How sexy is she?
I've seen, thought about, she's got a bit of weight on her, so I'm thinking about the pace. From the charm, I think that she won't go for that long without maybe me having to get on top. So I'm thinking, maybe not. It's all you, if you want to go for that.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm looking at her. She's got a nice bum. I think if to myself, do I want a little bit of it, Cara, to be fair, but...
I think you should go for it, Steve.
Yeah, I think she'd be very lucky to have someone like me, but you can have a fat mate. I might prefer her, to be fair, she's nice.
We'll make the decision when it comes down to that, but...
Yeah, of course. So what are we doing? Are we going in for the kill or what?
Just go for it.
Yeah. I was a better footballer and probably better at pulling birds, so do you want to swerve it and I'll just go over and speak to
Just
them?
do it, yeah.
Brilliant.
I love that. Whose line is it anyway?
Right, let's move on to the top trends. Get Anton and Harris involved here. Harris, it's your chance to talk about Man United. Obviously, they're still at the top of the headlines, still grabbing the newspaper headlines as well. What's going on, and when is Mourinho going to get sacked?
It's just so depressing. Like, everything around the club is so negative right now. I was at the game, last week, and
the game,
Yeah, okay, I knew you were going to say that, but it's telling. I think I've been very patient with the manager, supported him, and I don't think it's necessarily all his fault. But there was no one behind him, at Old Trafford the day. People have given up.
What was the attendance?
It was 73,000, which it's fine.
It's not bad for a team in meltdown, is it?
But the thing is, you be there, and people were trying to get a chance about Mourinho going, trying to support the manager. And I think even as far back as before the West Ham game, I think people would be still willing to give him, the time and support him. And I just think it's gone. I think it's not. I think the players have really let him down. And the thing for me is, I still think he's a world-class manager. But I think when it gets to this stage, it's very difficult to turn the momentum round.
There's no need to make it so public. We saw last week with Pogba on the training.
But you say that, Pogba's the one in the world going to the press I can't speak to the media, and that's not helping anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like the players aren't helping each other, the manager's not being backed by the board even, and it's just a mess. The whole thing's a mess.
What was Sanchez doing when he got subbed off last night?
I remember literally, I was sitting there and you could literally see it. He's literally walking like he just doesn't care. Like he just doesn't care. Like we're drawing 0-0 in the Champions League, and in the way our group is, that was the game we kind of needed to win. Do you know what I mean? And he's just there like he doesn't care.
You've got a player there with Sanchez, and you know all about him when he was at Arsenal. He was the one coming out and
tenacious, wasn't he? So,
yeah, it's one of them. As good as a player he is, he's not someone who's going to roll his sleeves up and get stuck in. You need players, and United at the minute, you look at them, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of joy coming from watching United at the minute. There is, don't get me wrong, but all jokes aside, there's no one really where Jose Mourinho, right? He's in 2005, 2006, and what I mean by that, you watch him at Chelsea. He had lads who John Terry, Frank Lampard, Drogba, Carvalho, players who'd they'd respond to a bit of criticism.
And they'd do his sort of thing for him.
Listen, they'd do anything for Mourinho. They'd do anything for him. But you're talking now the modern game. Mourinho hasn't gone. He's too far back, and what I mean by that is he's never kind of acclimatised to the modern game and the modern player. He's upsetting everyone. He's coming out and saying giving Luke Shaw loads, then Pogba's saying.
It's not quite. It doesn't seem quite criticism anymore, though. It's more of a that what he said about Phil Jones. I knew when Phil Jones stepped up that we were going to be.
That's never going to help him. That's not
I just don't understand it at all. It's not criticism. It's nasty, isn't it?
If you want my honest answer, I think he kind of wants the sack now. I
thought that weeks ago.
And they've got Newcastle next in the league. Is that at home, Harris? I think.
I see his drawing it. I know the way Benitez as well. He's very good at organising the defence, and we can't break teams down. If we draw that game, the next Premier League game's away at Chelsea.
So there's Newcastle, then we've got the international break, and then Chelsea away.
Yeah.
And if they go to Chelsea and get humiliated, like I remember, was it a couple of years ago when they got beat 4 or 5-0? Was it there when they conceded inside the first minute?
Well, yeah, I think it was.
I can't see him going beyond the Chelsea game, and he's odds on with most bookmakers.
I will say a lot of United fans are going, get Zidane in. He's just a name. That's not going to solve anything. He's never shown that he can build a team. And United have got in a situation now where it's so messy because. For me, Mourinho's never going to turn that dressing room around now. Do you know what I mean? That is lost. It's always going to be lost.
It's only going to end one way, isn't it?
Yeah,
we can all agree
everybody
on that.
knows. We'll be talking about this in a few weeks' time when he's probably gone and be like, yeah, we all saw that coming, or in a month or two. We know he's not going to last the season. Yeah, everybody knows that now. He's not going to last.
Yeah,
the season.
from a manager that is going to be sacked, to Mourinho, to a manager that has been sacked this week. A bit of a cabbage, Steve Bruce. Villa. Someone took a cabbage to a football game and then lobbed it at Steve Bruce.
It's a big vegetable.
Yeah, I've seen a chicken.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort to carry that around with you. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, to be honest with you, that fan mustn't like Steve Bruce So like Goal-less to his wife, listen, we're not having a roast tonight. Listen, no cabbage, listen, I'll have carrot and turnip, I'll have sprouts. I'm taking that the match. Because if we drop points against Preston at home, this is going on Steve Bruce's head. End of story. Now, you know, look, that's a deep hated. Steve Bruce, I've got a lot of time for Steve Bruce. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people will say Villa should have went straight up last season. But for me, they were 90 minutes away from it. He should have got them up. I do think he should be given that time. Because again, if it's one of them, if they get rid of Steve Bruce, bring someone else in, it could go either way. With Bruce, there's that stability, you know it's not going to go. It's almost going to be. But I feel for him a little bit.
And that's for last night when, I mean, they were 2-0 up and kind of cruising. They've had a man sent off and a penalty, so already you've half your deficit. It's 2-1 now, against 10 men. You are going to be under cosh, so it's gone 2-2. Then he's had the cabbage thrown at him. It's not even gone 3-2 yet. Then 3-2. You know, and then to pull a draw back, for me, if I'm a Villa fan, that was a turning point. That was a turning point. If I'm a Villa fan, walking, you know, like getting 3-3 or walking away from that ground, I'd be like...
Yeah, but Preston are undeniably shit.
But you've got
but you've got to take the circumstances of the match.
Harris, are you going to be taking any vegetables to Old Trafford anytime soon?
I'll get that, you know, just melon or something. Next time we go, I don't know.
I'd say a turnip being off it, really.
Villa get a penalty in the last minute, right? Bruce is thinking, here we go. Glenn Whelan picks the ball up. He hasn't scored for 7 years.
It's an odd
7 years. Bruce must have
when
been
you've got
going,
2 strikers on
team. Why is he? But you just see him stepping up. Bruce must have just been thinking, this is just like, I've had a cabbage thrown at me head. A fella who can't score a goal is taking a pen to win me a game. Curtains, you know what I mean? So.
And as we know, Simon, it's a ruthless league. If they're bringing a manager who is not up to speed with the Championship...
Thierry Henry being...
You can drop really fast.
Thierry Henry was the favourite this afternoon, and you know 3 games in that league and you're down there in the midst of it. And well, I do feel harsh for Steve Bruce because there's nothing in it in the Championship at the moment.
No, 2 or 3 games could completely change the
That's the thing, you can literally win 2 in the
You have a
bounce
look at the gap between 2nd and 15th, it's absolutely nothing.
I just think it's brave to replace a manager like Bruce, like you were saying, that you know the certain level he's got with someone totally untested, because like I said, you can just literally plummet and then you're absolutely
I think
done
what
there.
it was, I think they spent around 90 million, didn't they, when they went down, which was speaks for itself.
Laughable, yeah.
Right, let's move on to a big fight this weekend. We've got Conor McGregor finally back in action. He's taken on Khabib after quite the absence. Conor, how do we see this fight going?
You know, I spent some time face to face with Khabib the other weekend, and I could see the fear clean in his eyes. So, you know, I cannot wait to step across from that cage for him on Saturday night and plant him into the ground like the rat he is. So, you know, I feel very, very confident now that I can go on to the next level and regain that lightweight title.
Do we actually think that Conor McGregor is going to win this fight?
Yes. First round knockout.
By the way, son, what an impression that was. I didn't see that coming, no disrespect.
That's like a Paul Hollywood handshake.
That must have meant the Carragher was shit.
You really
that was... Wait, listen to the real thing.
You don't want to do your Khabib one now, do you?
No, I don't want to ruin it. Bring perfect 12 to the game. I give you a perfect punch.
Well, I think it's going to be a great fight, for sure. For sure, that's going to be... Get him away, get him away. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have also been in action this week doing their press conferences. Hope's kind of building up to that one. What kind of spats going on between them? Anton, have you kept your eye on this one?
Yes, you big shithouse. That's all I saw from the conference.
You big stiff idiots.
You big stiff idiots.
They will leave their practice.
It is one of them. I've seen them go at each other, and it just all seems a bit full. I've seen the picture of them sat cozy on the settee this week, and it's just like
there's so much of that though.
I get what they're doing. I completely understand it, and that's what boxing is. But it's just, I don't know.
Do we all think Wilder should win that, shouldn't he? Really?
I think Fury over 12 rounds wins that fight.
Wilder's favourite.
I can't see Fury knocking him out, but I think Fury wins on fight.
Fury's been writ off so many times, and like, you know, he's got this style, and it's, you know, a lot of people go, you know, a lot of people say Joshua would have him out. I think Fury just continues to kind of like upset the cart a little bit, because he is, you know, he gets the job done. He's very awkward.
He's a bit of a maverick. He's out there, isn't he?
I told Deontay Wilder this week I'm going to knock him spark out. He's a bitch. He's going to knock spark out.
Right, let's move from Tyson Fury to our predictions table. And Anton, you deserve a bit of a round of applause there. You were the only one to guess a draw in the Liverpool v Chelsea game. One clap. Liverpool-Chelsea finished in a draw, and also you got the Ryder Cup score correct. Well, not the score, you got the result correct. The fact that Europe was going to win.
For the Ryder Cup, it was
Good effort, that, isn't it?
Excellent.
16 and a half, 12.
Excellent viewing, Simon. USA were favourites on paper. Oh, Tiger Woods, he's back. Balls to you, Tiger Woods. Thomas Fleetwood. When it comes to the Ryder Cup, I'm Team Europe, and we did an absolute job on them there. Tommy Fleetwood, heroic. We saw the scenes with him, and Molinari, perfect 5. What a win.
Those predictions do put Anton and Pete level on 6 points apiece at the top of the predictions table so far. I think I'm on 4 points. Harris is rooted to the bottom with none. Is he going to get one right this week? This week we are predicting Liverpool v Man City, sorry. Harris, kick us off. Are you going to back Liverpool finally?
I'm going to go with a 2-1 Liverpool win. Whoa. And that hurts. That hurts a lot.
Stinky. Paul, can we have Alan Hansen's thoughts on this game?
I don't know, he's looking at the back of the day. He's watching this every game day in day out. It's fantastic to see the fact that these two teams are back at the top of the table. It's fantastic. I think we're 2-2. It'll be a full draw.
Desmond, lovely. Jamie Carragher, can we get your thoughts? Surely you're going for a Liverpool win.
I think both sides on the Premier both sides do shit shots on both sides both sides. Well, you see Liverpool get that result, both sides, centre midfield players trying to go forward, shitty both sides. Both sides, so yeah, 1-0.
1-0 Liverpool, that is, of course, Anton.
How the hell can I fall?
Are we on Stone Raider? What is it?
If you want some, I'm going 1 more. I'll give it to you.
I don't have an impression to follow that up with. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. I think they'll do it over Man City again, and we'll catch up with our predictions table this time next week.
It's scary if they win that match, I'm telling you.
You think they're going to win the league, Harris?
I'm not commenting.
Serious statement. If Liverpool win that league, they're going to go favourites, I think.
What do you think about Daniel's Sturridge goal, by the way? Saved him a point at Stamford Bridge.
That's the kind of thing where when you do win the league, goals like that.
Do you not just think the way his career's gone, he's at a place now, he's just getting to a point where he's like edge at box and he's just saying,
I'm going to thunderbastering it into the corner. Yeah.
You know, there's a frustration with Sturridge, to be honest with you, because that's how good he is when he does that. But under Klopp, for 3 years, Klopp hasn't fancied him. He's come back in the summer, he must have done something different. He's been at West Brom and thought, do I really want this, you know what I mean? I could be at Liverpool. And you know, he's come off the bench a few times now, he's got goal, he's always got a goal in him. And to come on with 5 to go and to just literally, I mean, you couldn't have hit that any better.
It's like whenever we used to win the league, we always had games like that where someone would just come at the moment at Madrid and get you a draw. Even the draws,
Like Solskjaer had come off the bench.
And that's the thing that's scary to me is that Liverpool are getting those results now.
Strength and depth, I've said it before. You have a look at Liverpool's bench this season compared to last season, and the strength in that bench speaks for itself, doesn't it?
That's a lovely way to finish. And let's give away this Liverpool shirt right now. So it's Harry Redknapp's chance to reveal what is his favourite meal at McDonald's. Is it A, the McChicken Cruncher, or is it B, the strawberry Herman or Idison? Harry, can you please give us the answer?
Well, I think it's a terrific meal. I think it's got to be the McChicken Cruncher. Where is it terrific? McChicken, it's Cruncher-ish.
That is brilliant. Of course it's the McChicken Cruncher. Right, if you commented that in the comments down below, you're in with a chance of winning this Liverpool shirt. That was the Perfect 10 show for this week. Join us again next week where we'll be joined by up-and-coming comedian Ant Campbell. Thanks for having me, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe below and ding that notification bell to get our latest uploads into your inbox.